This is Twit.
This episode of iFive for the iPhone is brought to you by Gazelle, the fast and simple way to sell your used gadgets. Find out where your used iPhone, iPad, and other Apple products are worth at gazelle.com. Hello everyone, and welcome to iFive for the iPhone, episode 118. This is the Find program where we cover the latest iPhone apps and some tips and tricks that you might like, and of course news. I'm Sarah Lane, I'm your cruise director, and I hope you've taken your seasickness pills. Number 1. Okay, hot off the developer press this week is a new app that I've been beta testing actually for a couple of months by the company that brought you Jelly. Remember Jelly, the app? It wanted us to answer each other's questions as we were out and about in the world. We covered it back in January, episode 73. And I really don't blame you if you don't remember. It wasn't a bad idea, but the app never really caught on, and I haven't even mentioned it in almost a year now. Anyway, the Jelly folks obviously have kind of moved on too and have been working on something completely different. An app that feels one part Instagram, one part secret or whisper, and very, very colorful. It's called Super. Super with an exclamation point, and it's a little hard to explain. In fact, the only description in the developer notes in the App Store for Super is that it's fun, quirky, colorful, and different, and that people who use Super usually laugh once they get into it. Go on, give it a try, it's free. Pretty vague. Okay, so here's the idea. You want to convey a message. So like, for example, I feel awesome, or this is a great book that my friends should read, or here I am on vacation. That sort of thing. Super has little graphical exclamations and stuff that you can use to express emotion, along with whatever image you decide to upload. Or you can choose from a variety of images and backgrounds that the app tries to match to whatever you're saying. For example, my friend Aaron, who happens to work at Jelly on this app, said recently that he felt sick. He was conveying that, his emotion. I saw his username. Okay, I got it. So I responded, which you can do, that I thought whiskey might be a good solution. He's sick, right? I don't have a picture of whiskey handy on my phone, but Super guessed that I might want that based on the keyword whiskey. So I got my image that way. I could have also searched for an image. They've got an image library. Now, one thing I'm not so crazy about is the anonymity part of it, because you can update without linking whatever you update to your profile, like I just did with my sexy oatmeal. Yeah, that was me. See, that's why I said that the app feels a little bit like Secret, a bit on the diary side that I'm sharing with the world. I'm just not a big fan of because people are emo and annoying. I really can't find much wrong with Super though. It's actually really fun, it's easy to use, it's got that cool comic book look. We know a little bit about that here on iFive. I don't know, I say give it a try. Number 2, lots of apps have tried to solve the issue of meeting a bunch of people in a business setting. You get a bunch of business cards, and then you don't really want them later. Where are you going to put them? Or what business card even is the person that you liked versus the person that you didn't like? It's annoying, right? I've got a really easy solution for you. It's called Intro by the folks who make About.me. You just sign in, and then when you want to send someone contact information, you just easily do it via their phone number or their email or even their About.me page. Now, if they already have the app, great, there it is. Then you've exchanged contact information. If they don't, they'll get an email with all of your contact information, what you've decided to share with them anyway, and then a link to download the app if they want to. You can contact anybody you've already met directly through the app. It saves all that stuff. Or you can save their information into your iPhone's address book if that's the way you prefer to do it. And because it's made by the About.me team, who provide really good splash pages, I've been using one for years, it's even better with others who also have About.me pages. So that's a smart move by the company, but I like it because it's convenient. Who's got the time anymore? Remember Bump? You'd tap phones together and you'd swap information that way. I think it was based on Bluetooth. Was that it? I don't know. Forget that. Intro is a lot simpler. Number 3. Now, call me crazy, didn't I just highlight the app Tiny from North Technologies, run by a friend of Twit, Kevin Rose? I swear I did 2 weeks ago, remember? I'm not wearing a watch, but that's what I do. Well, the company has another app out, speaking of watches, and this one's for all you basically rich people who want fine watches on your wrists, only the finest. And I'm not kidding. No, I am not kidding. The app's name is Watchville. And it's part shopping for watches or, doing research on watches, and part daytime lunar cycle app, because time. Watchville pulls from a handful of watch blog sources, like people who talk about watches all the time. There are a lot of them. And you could read everything within the app, or you can link out to the original articles themselves. The time tab is a clock and UTC time and leap year information, and again, what the moon's doing tonight. Now, I have not worn a watch in, let's say, at least 10 years. I'm still not even sure if the Apple Watch is going to win me over, although I'm definitely going to get one and I'm going to give it a try. Point is, watches feel sort of unnatural to me at this point. And I think even though Watchville seems kind of really specific and kind of random at the same time, it's an investment in how the popularity of watches might explode in the next year or two, and how an app like this could end up being a huge resource for people like me who might start wanting fancy watches. I don't know. It's definitely a stretch. The app looks nice, though. This episode of iFive for the iPhone is brought to you by Gazelle. Perhaps you would like a new iPhone. You've been thinking about it, and now you're finally ready. You've saved up some money. Maybe you've saved up almost enough money, but you need $100 or $200 still. That's where Gazelle can come in. If you've got gadgets that are laying around, you're not using them, they're in a drawer somewhere, they're in a box in your closet somewhere, you can sell those to Gazelle and get cash back. Just go to gazelle.com, that's Gazelle.com, and enter your item or items. They'll take multiple stuff too. Tell Gazelle the condition that your items are in. Even if they're a little beat up, that's okay. They'll even buy broken iPhones and iPads as well. And then Gazelle will give you a risk-free offer for your gadgets, and they'll even throw in free shipping. Now I say risk-free because your offer is good for 30 days, and that gives you time to, send in your gadgets and round stuff up and maybe even buy your new stuff and wipe data and sync to your new devices. It's very, very handy. Go to Gazelle.com now and get an offer for that iPhone or iPad or other device and lock in today's price for 30 days because your gadgets will lose value if you keep waiting. It's also trustworthy. Gazelle has paid nearly $170 million to over 1 million happy customers. Fast process, no listing hassles, and when it's time to get paid, you'll get paid fast by check via PayPal or get an extra 5% with an Amazon gift card. What's your iPhone, iPad, or other gadget worth? Go to Gazelle.com right now, Gazelle.com, and find out how much money you deserve. Thanks to Gazelle for sponsoring this episode of iFive for the iPhone. Number 4. So Facebook just loves its standalone apps, y'all. We know that. And they're not stopping here. The latest is Facebook Groups. It's brand new, just released on Tuesday. And Facebook says it's a dedicated space for you and your groups in one place. Yeah, a family group, for example, or maybe you're part of a soccer team and you got to swap schedules, or a class at school, maybe just for coworkers. Now, you might already be involved in groups on Facebook, and the company is not going to force you to move them all over to the Groups app, kind of like they did with Messenger, at least not yet. You can still access all of your groups on Facebook itself. This is just a streamlined option, obviously made for mobile. Now, earlier this week, some rumors actually surfaced that Facebook was working on a business group tool specifically for work teams. So I could sort of see Facebook groups being some version of that, although in the family or friends arena, it makes a little bit less sense to me. Facebook Messenger already has, like 650 million monthly active users last I checked? I think that's right. Why not figure out how to bring groups into the messaging service that the company obviously already cares a lot about? Also, I kind of already have groups of sorts inside Messenger. I mean, if you've got 3 or more people bundled together sharing text and photos and videos and links and stickers, isn't that a group? Maybe Facebook wants groups to be more organized, more enterprise friendly? I'm not totally sure, but I'm having a hard time justifying needing both of these apps. It's kind of one or the other. I mean, I like standalone apps, but enough is enough. Then again, I'm not in a ton of Facebook groups, maybe a handful or so. So maybe I'm missing how great this is for people who have lots of them. As is always the Facebook way, the app is free. Finally, number 5, we got an email from Ryan. Hello, Ryan, who has a workaround for locked screens at airports. I know. Sounds crazy, but it might help you. Ryan writes, I've never been able to get Passbook to work on the lock screen, but I found a workaround for boarding passes. Take a screenshot of the boarding pass, then set it as your wallpaper. You need to position the QR code so it will be between the clock and the unlock slider, but it's worked for me. Just take the phone out, click the lock button, and scan. Now you would think you would think that there is a better option than making your boarding pass your lock screen wallpaper. But I hear you, Ryan. I actually take a lot of flights. I'm at airports all the time. I never print out boarding passes anymore. I'm not going to do that. So I either get them sent to Passbook or just via SMS. But it always happens, you're going through security, you put your phone away, pack up everything, and then you have to quickly pull out your boarding pass to scan it with somebody, and your phone is locked and there's a little bit of fumbling and you feel bad and you're holding up the line and blah. It would save me a whole step to just wake up the screen and then be on my way. Now, I haven't tried this myself, I just read Ryan's email, but we'll go ahead and take your word for it that it works. What we really need, though, let's think big here, is TSA to install some NFC kiosks in airports, and then we could just sail on through with our iPhones, and you just kind of get close to it, and it says, yeah, we know who you are. It would be the Apple Pay of air travel. I know it's a good idea, but I won't hold my breath. And that does it for this episode. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. All of the apps and links and other information from this show is at, I'll say it, twit.tv/iFive. You can email ideas or questions or feedback to us at iFive@twit.tv. And thanks to everybody who does that every week. You make my job fun. You can always leave us a voicemail as well at 614-ON-iFive. I'm Sarah Lane, and we'll see you next time.
Bandwidth for iFive for the iPhone is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.